Hello. I've been putting this video together on a rainy afternoon. It's the first heavy rain for weeks, in fact perhaps for a couple of months. The ground is bone dry, grass is brown, and the smaller trees in particular are looking tired and thirsty. So personally, I'm really pleased to have some substantial rain. One of the interesting aspects of making these videos is that it's made me much more aware of the contrasts between the seasons, how the land and the ecosystem generally changes with the passing of time. Of course, you can see it and feel it, but it's easy to forget some of the details, what it actually looked like 6 months ago. In the wood now, the nettles are wilting. Back in the spring, I spent a few hours pulling them out by hand, trying to get as much of the root system as possible. They're good for wildlife, and don't worry, there are plenty left in other places, but it's opened the wood up a little, and you can see the difference between left and right. This is the wood a few months back in spring. The sycamores were just coming into leaf. That was before the drought set in and everything was much greener. And then back in the winter, the river in the distance burst its banks, as it does most winters, and overran the willow meadow, coming right into the wood here. This is the meadow now. The grass is well above my waist and will need to be cut soon. Such a difference from spring, when it had only just started to grow. And here's the bridge. Again, you can see how much the meadow has grown up since the spring. The pond is perhaps the most extreme example. Some years it holds water throughout the summer, but rainfall this year has been so low that I expected it to dry up. You can see what it was like a few months ago, full of newts swimming through what looked like a kelp forest. Although it seems like the newts will have lost their habitat, the advantage of the pond being seasonal is that there's no risk of predators, in particular fish, becoming established. One of the projects for the willow meadow is to try and establish fritillaries there. Fritillaries love water meadows, and my hope is that this will be an environment in which they can thrive, and maybe one where they can survive the slugs, which are such a problem in the grass near the house. I might be wrong, but I think it's probably about getting a critical mass of them established, at which point there should be so many seeds each year that they will be self-sustaining. Or maybe it will just give the slug population a boost. I think I'll just have to do the experiment and see how it works. For many wildflowers, sowing into long grass isn't an effective approach. The grass needs to be removed to an extent and the soil exposed. But from experience elsewhere, I think fritillaries are more efficient at establishing in these long grass conditions. Some patience is required. They take about 4 years to flower if they survive that long. But the plan is to add seed here each year, and hopefully that will result in the continuous appearance of flowering plants as time goes on. Another project from the last few weeks has been cutting down a dead sycamore in the wood. I left the base of the trunk for wildlife. You get stag beetles here, and their larvae inhabit rotting wood, so not all of this wood is destined for the fire. The rest is cut up and taken up to the house, where I can split it, store it, and let it dry out. That should keep the house warm, or at least some of the house warm, in winter. and because this wood is quite dry already, since the tree has been dead, it should be dry enough to burn at the end of this year. That's it for now. Here's the willow meadow at sunset. It looks magical in the evening light. Thanks for watching, and catch you soon.